Hey guys, it's Joseph from Black Box My Car. We hope you've had the chance to check out our IROAD X10 unboxing video as well as the sample footage clip. And hey, if you haven't, you can check out all the links in the description below. Just a quick recap, IROAD is one of the top premium dashcam manufacturers from South Korea, the other being Thinkware. And while Thinkware focused on expanding to the North American market, IROAD has focused most of its efforts in recent years in South Korea and other Asian and Asia-Pacific markets, including Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Australia. In 2018, we were presented with the opportunity to bring IROAD to consumers in Canada and the US. We've always been impressed with how reliable their dashcams were, especially in high heat environments, so just like that, we became their exclusive distributor across North America. We had a lot of success with the IROAD X9 and the X1, and while they're both full HD models, and they were great at the time, but as we all know, the dashcam market is now all about the 4K. So with premium models like BlackView DR900S and the soon X series, and the Thinkware U1000 and the Viofo A129 Pro, it's time IROAD brought the IROAD X10, its new 4K offering, to the market. IROAD actually announced their 4K project in 2018 when our CEO Alex visited them in South Korea, and then officially unveiled the IROAD X10 at the Hong Kong Electronics Fair in spring 2019. The debut was extremely successful, with the X10 receiving an award from the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. We thought we would be seeing the X10 on our shelves last year, alongside the Thinkware U1000 and the Viofo A129 Pro, but IROAD actually ended up taking the extra time to perfect the hardware and the exciting OBD X scanner power cable. Now, the question that many of you have asked, how does the IROAD X10 stack up against the Thinkware U1000 and the BlackView DR900S? And is the IROAD X10 a competitive contender for those in the market for a 4K dashcam? Well, we've got all the answers for you in this video. The IROAD X10 is the latest flagship model, taking the crown from its predecessor, the IROAD X9. But IROAD did way more than just upgrade the resolution. As we have mentioned in our previous unboxing video, the X10 sports a new wedge design that resembles the Thinkware F800 Pro and the Q800 Pro. The top of the IROAD X10 are 4 slots that slide and lock onto the mounting plate for a secure, wiggle-free connection. It also makes it easy to take off the IROAD X10 if you're switching the dashcam from one car to the other. The mounting plate is securely held to the windshield by a 3M adhesive strip. The camera lens is designed to sit very close to the windshield to reduce distortion and glare. The lens housing is rotatable to accommodate nearly any windshield angle and vehicle design. If you currently have the X9 in your vehicle and is thinking about upgrading to the 4K X10, hey, we've got some good news for you. The rear cameras are essentially the same. So instead of ripping out all the existing installation, simply plug your old X9 rear camera into the new one and you're good to go. The IROAD X10 front unit comes with an 8.3 megapixel Sony Starvis image sensor. That's right on par with the Thinkware, BlackView, and Viofo. 8 megapixel is what gives you the true 4K recording experience. What good is 4K if it doesn't cover the peripherals? And the X10 comes with a 165-degree viewing angle, which is the widest of all the 4K dashcams. In fact, it is also 15 degrees wider than the IROAD X9. But there is one thing though that would make the X10 an even more competitive dashcam in terms of recording quality, and that's the frame rate. All the other 4K dashcams are capable of upscaling to 60 frames per second, but the X10 is only capable of recording at a maximum of 30 frames per second. And as we all know, a higher frame rate means a smoother video, especially when you're traveling at speed. So we would say this is probably one area that the X10 falls short. The rear camera is equipped with a 2 megapixel Sony Exmor 2M CMOS sensor, capturing the back of the car in full HD at 145 degrees field of view. So how does the rear camera of the X10 compare with that of the other 4K 2-channel systems, say the Viofo A129 Pro Dual? The X10's rear camera is equipped with the Sony Exmor IMX323 image sensor. BİO, on the other hand, comes with the Sony Exmor IMX291 sensor. The IMX291 is known to have better light sensitivity than other image sensors, giving you brighter images. However, many of our customers have complained that images are often appearing overexposed, resulting in loss of sharpness of details in worst-case scenarios. And don't forget, the X10 comes with IROAD's X-Vision technology, which detects the surrounding brightness and automatically adjusts the recording brightness to accommodate low light situations. So, you will get bright and clear images not just in parking mode, but also in driving mode. At 145 degrees, the X10 offers a wider coverage area than the Blackview DR900S2CH or the BİO A129 Pro Dual. It's only a slight 5 degrees narrower than that of the ThinkWare U1000. But when you look at the combined coverage of the front and rear cameras, the X10 gives you a combined 310 degrees coverage, which is the most out of all the 4K 2-channel systems. In other words, you do see more with the IROAD X10. IROAD dashcams are really popular amongst users in tropical climates like Singapore, Malaysia, and other Southeast Asian countries, and that's one of the reasons why IROAD dashcams are the top selling across those countries. They are built to be extremely heat resistant. The X10's operating temperature range is -20 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and it can handle a humidity index of 95%. In the event that the in-cabin temperature reaches 75 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, the X10 will automatically shut off to protect damage to the dashcam, your vehicle, and the saved data on the SD card. You're in good hands. And we'll be putting the X10 to the test, so stay tuned for our next Beat the Heat video later next month. So let's talk about the parking mode. Once the engine is shut off, and if you have a hardwired setup, the X10 will automatically enter time-lapse parking mode after just 5 seconds. Time-lapse technology allows the X10 to continuously record at 1 frame per second during parking mode. This allows for efficient memory usage, giving you up to 30 times longer coverage than any other camera. For instance, you can get up to 16 hours of time-lapse recording on a 32 gig micro SD card. And if you have enabled motion and impact detection, the X10 will start to record at 10 frames per second once it detects any movement within a 3-meter range. Once there's no movement, the X10 will switch back to time-lapse recording mode. Event recording will kick in at 10 frames per second to provide you with a video account of the impact. The X10 lets you set the recording kick-in time, available between 1 to 30 seconds. If you enable both time-lapse and motion and impact detection, this is called 50/50 time-lapse with motion detection setting, a 32 gig SD card will give you about 11 hours of parking mode recording. Did you know that the IROAD X10 can support SD cards up to 1 terabyte? That's incredible. Think how much more parking mode you'll be able to get out of it. Just like the ThinkWare U1000, the IROAD X10 offers H.265 high-efficiency video coding, also known as HEVC. We know that HEVC is crucial considering 4K video files are typically larger in size. HEVC allows for a compressed file size without compromising the quality of the video. At the same recording time and same SD card, you can fit the same amount of 4K files as you would with Full HD files compressed with the older H.264 technology. But do keep in mind that HEVC is not supported on all devices and applications. When you attempt to play them on some PCs and programs, you may experience stuttering or a sluggish viewing experience if you don't have a graphics card that supports it. We do have an article on HEVC on our blog, so check out the links below for more details. Given that IROAD uses its own proprietary JDR file format, new memory cards do not require regular formatting, which guarantees the safety of the data and the dashcam itself. What's more, saved images can be restored with the auto recovery system, which means you don't have to worry about losing vital footage. And finally, the automatic reboot function protects the unit by checking for SD card errors and organizing the saved data. One thing to note, you will need to use iRoad's mobile or PC viewer for playback. It is possible to share directly from the smartphone app directly to YouTube, so that is convenient. But if you want to convert the footage to AVI, you will have to do it in the app or the PC viewer. We found this a little inconvenient, so we do hope that iRoad will consider making this easier for users in the future. So how much video can the X10 pack on to an SD card? Say you're using the 100% driving mode setting on the X10. A 32 gig SD card will give you about 2 hours and 40 minutes of coverage. On the 50/50 driving and time-lapse parking mode, a 32 gig SD card will give you about 9 hours and 20 minutes of coverage. And what about 100% parking mode? If you're doing 100% time-lapse, a 32 gig SD card will give you about 16 hours of coverage. We have included more information on coverage time in the iRoad X10 in-depth review on our website, so click on the link below to find the different recording mode configurations and the storage time based on different SD cards. The X10 comes with a free iRoad mobile app, so you can download from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. If you're familiar with mobile viewers and have used ThinkWares or Blackviews, you'll find that the iRoad app is a little less intimidating. Perhaps it's because iRoad does not offer any cloud features. What you're left with is an app that is more basic, but a lot more user-friendly. What's really cool about the X10, and that's what we love about it, is the optional iRoad X scanner. The X scanner takes the power cable to the next level because it's a power cable, but it also includes an OBD2 scanner all in one tool. By plugging it into your car's OBD port, it supplies power to your X10, just like the old OBD power cable. But because it has built-in OBD2 scan functions, it can provide you with information about your car in real time. Information such as fuel consumption, fuel efficiency, coolant temperature, transmission oil temperature, battery information, and DPF info right from the app itself. That way, if you're having issues with your vehicle, you can run a quick OBD2 diagnostic scan using the iRoad mobile app on your smartphone. It's like having a doctor on board, but for your vehicle. What we really like about the X scanner is, say you're running power to your dash cam from the OBD port, if you need to run any diagnostic tests, before you had to unplug the power cable to free up that port. But now with the OBD X scanner built in right into the power cable, you don't have to unplug your dash cam just to run diagnostic tests anymore. Up until now, the ThinkWare U1000 was the only 4K dashcam that came with ADAS, but not anymore. The iRoad X10 is also equipped with ADAS. Do note that ADAS requires the iRoad GPS antenna, which is an external module that you will need to purchase separately. Once you do, simply connect the GPS antenna to the X10 using the GPS port on the main unit. So let's do a recap of the X10 and how it compares to other 4K dashcams. Like the ThinkWare U1000, Blackview DR900S2CH, and the Viofo A129 Pro Dual, the iRoad X10 comes with an 8 megapixel image sensor in its main unit and can capture the roads ahead at 165 degrees in 4K UHD. For the traffic behind, the X10 gives you full HD video quality, just like the Blackview and the Viofo 4Ks. But where the iRoad falls short is the available bitrate option. While all the other 4Ks give you the option to downscale to record at a lower resolution, but at 60 frames per second, the X10 limits you to 30 frames per second for normal continuous recording. In terms of parking mode, the X10 offers memory-efficient time-lapse with motion and impact detection. In terms of parking mode, we feel that the ThinkWare U1000 with the radar sensor is still the one to beat. The X10 also lacks many important features because it is not cloud compatible. Just like the Viofo, the X10 falls short where it comes to smart features. But hey, all in all, the iRoad is a great dashcam and the X scanner is definitely one great feature that the other three 4Ks lack. The iRoad X10 will be making a landing on our shelves in the coming weeks, but you can pre-order yours today, and hey, we'll throw in a 50% off discount on the iRoad X1. And not only that, the first 50 customers will also get a free OBD cable. That's over $150 worth of savings. Hurry, because pre-orders end April 30th. And that's it, folks. We hope you've enjoyed this IROAD X10 review video. If there are any other features that you want us to go over in greater detail, send us a comment below. And as always, if you have any questions or need more suggestions, you know where to find us. We're always here to help. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out to stay up to date with all the latest dashcam news and trends. Thanks for watching.